what's up? DjGoHam is here to bring you all the farm sim news you need to know about today. We've actually got quite a lot to talk about for a Monday. We've got stuff that you can expect to see over the next couple weeks, including some mods that came out today, like 23 of them. This thing on my head keeps moving around. There's some help if you're having trouble in Bcbuhler Valley. Bcbuhler's got some updates on their itch page, and MrHector's got a massive update for us. I think his section takes longer than any section ever on Farm Sim News today. So sit back and relax. Here's your Farm Sim News for Monday, December 22nd. So let's start off and talk about mods over the next 2 weeks. As you may have seen earlier today, we got 23 mods released on the Mod of all platforms, got 7 new and 4 updates, and PC Mac players got 6 new and 6 updates. With some pretty cool stuff, including the highly anticipated release of the Sin track. However, I'll be honest with you guys, I was not expecting to see mods this morning. I guess in reality, I wasn't expecting to see mods on Saturday or Sunday either, but they still happened. So what does this mean for the next couple weeks? Well, I'm going to take a wild guess and say we'll probably see mods again tomorrow. As far as December 24th, Christmas Eve, I highly doubt we'll see any that day. However, we could see some mods on Christmas Day, although I don't know that for sure. After that, I would imagine probably going to be the new year before we see anything else. So mods today, maybe today's a normal mod day for them, but tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, into next week, through the end of the week, I don't think we're going to see anything. Of course, this is just a speculation and things could change at any time. So we'll be keeping an eye out for you. I do have some plans with family, so mods might come out a little bit later. For example, tomorrow I've got breakfast with the family, so if there's early mods, those might come out a bit later in the day. As much as I would like to be in front of my computer 24/7 waiting on stuff to release, I just can't, and family comes first. Nonetheless, I think over the past 72 hours, we've gotten way more mods than we were expecting, so I can only think good news is coming our way. So that's mods, but what about all the other videos that I normally do? Well, my plan is to still release Let's Plays over the next couple weekends, and I'll still be doing the news on Monday and Friday this week and next week. Normally I do the news every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but since Wednesday this week is Christmas Eve and Wednesday next week is New Year's Eve, I'm going to be spending time with friends and family, so I can't guarantee I'll have that video up. However, I will have some special mod previews of stuff that people have sent over to me, so you can look forward to those, and maybe some other stuff as well. I do my best to keep Monday through Friday related to news and mods, and just have a little bit of fun on the weekends. So that's everything going on with me, going on with Giants, mods, news, etc. over the next couple weeks, at least until Giants are back in full swing 2 weeks from today. So now let's talk about modern news. Blacksheep Modding released a post later yesterday talking about how you remove manure from their Bcbuhler Valley map, specifically on the cow farm at the main farm. As I mentioned in several videos, including my map tour of this, all you got to do is go into the cow area with a bucket, get it down low to the ground, and click start filling, and then your bucket will fill up with manure. You will not be able to do this with a tipper though, not like you could with maps in Farm Sim 22 and 19. The reason it's not the same actually is because the manure was creating these huge piles and they didn't want it to be like that. So they made it to where it's basically a manure plane, just like the straw plane, and then you use your tipper. The trigger for it's a little low. I wonder if they could get the trigger a little bit higher, but I don't know that for sure. Nonetheless, it's still a very neat way to do it, and if you're looking to do stuff with like unrealistic capacity options, well, there's plenty of unrealistic capacity tippers out there. I'm sure you'll find something. Now let's talk Bcbuhler Farms. He has uploaded his bulk truck bed pack to his itch page. Along with that, it's also got the X3 Winkler bed, that new one, and an updated X2 Winkler bed. BC says there's probably one more version coming to the itch page, probably on Christmas Day, so make sure you keep an eye out for that one if you guys are on PC. There was one more thing he wanted to add, but didn't get it in for this version. That's why there'll be another one. Additionally, if you're using his Volvo WIA, he's also made a few tweaks and additions to that and wanted to get those updated too. Both of these are available for PC players on his itch page right now, and they will be submitted for console testing in about a week or two once PC players have gone through, tested, and reported any issues. That way, they pass quicker on console. Quick new mod from the Roughneck Modding crew. Over the weekend, Gamer Designs looks to have been spending a little bit of time working on a smaller logging trailer, forestry trailer, for you guys to be able to use for all platforms. As you may know, we've got a lot of big forestry equipment out there, especially some big trailers, but we don't really have any like US style stuff, some American style stuff. Most everything else, if it's smaller, it is more European or things like that. So if you're an American player, you like doing a little bit of logging, logging, some smaller scale logging stuff, well, we got a new trailer for you guys. He does say that it was uploaded to the RMC Mod Hub and pending testing for all platforms with regular Mod Hub. Last week we got to see some tanks coming from Custom Modding, and it looks like they've actually removed that post. But don't worry, we have a new one. Here's what they say. It's the first appearance of the long-awaited Ammonia setup finally coming to the fields. Here we can see what looks to be a Pattinson Ammonia trailer behind the C850 air cart and whatever the drill is. In the past, these have worked just like liquid fertilizer or herbicide tanks in farming simulators, especially for all platforms. And pretty cool to see Custom Modding with the return of one of their more popular mods. It's a really neat one. As with everything, no release date, and Custom Modding generally takes their time, so could be a couple months even before we see this in the game. Something pretty cool from BB Mods. We have a weekend update from them. He says he's going to be taking a little bit of time off for the end of the year and beginning of next year, spending the next couple weeks working on a very neglected farm instead of mods. And he does say yes in the screenshot that you guys are seeing right here. I guess he's doing a farm build on Waseca County by Truckermancy. I think he's been working on that for about half a year now. Maybe in another half year it'll be finished. All right, enough of giving him crap. So let's talk about the Specialty Harvesters pack. You can see those still saying pending. It was sent in November 21st. Yes, that has been sitting for 1 month, 4+ weeks with nada. Nothing's happening. On the bright side, it does say the Stego WR has been with Giants for a couple days, I guess. But that one will actually be dropping early access on his itch page tomorrow. That's going to be the 23rd of December. A little birdie told me that you'll be able to also see a preview of that somewhere on DjGoHam Gaming's YouTube channel tomorrow. I don't know who that is, but I would definitely make sure you're subscribed. That way you don't miss it. So at least from BB Mods, that is everything going on right now. Hopefully we'll see some more goodies in January. Ikas has a couple things for us today. Let's start off with their single barn dom, aka the smaller barn dominium, I guess. This is the aminium or dominium? I don't know. It's the house part of their large barn. Well, this just doesn't have the barn in it. So you've got a sleepy time trigger on the couch itself. We've also got a couple other triggers around as well, which is very, very nice. Digging that. And you can change clothes right in front of the toilet, as most of us do, but nobody wants to admit. These are neat because they've got doors in between them, so you can actually go through and like open the door between these and just walk between them. So you can actually make like a bunch of these together. You can also put this beside some of his other buildings and create like these larger structures, which is really cool. So definitely check that out. Also from Ikas, we have a new mod, the showroom container. This is a container basically you can open up and then put your favorite vehicle or I guess whatever in there. It's got optional LED stripes or hexagonal LEDs inside, so you can either light it from kind of all the way around above or give it that like really cool modern showroom look. Either way, it's up to you. He's got it shown off with what looks to be a couple PC mods, but still very neat and should give you plenty of an idea on what to expect. He also calls this a container, but I don't know if we're actually going to be able to pick it up and move it around or not. This would be pretty sweet, especially for putting K-Bots vehicles in and putting them on a roof. Still very cool and a really interesting way to showcase your favorite vehicle in the game. This kind of reminds me of the podium area in the mansions in GTA, the DLC that just came out like last week, 2 weeks ago, whenever it was. Kind of reminds me of that right now. Now, we already talked about gamer designs once in the video, but we're going to talk about them again. This time having to do with a map, their map Umbrian Valley. It failed testing again. He says after sitting pending testing for a month, then going through 4 days of testing, it did come back with a list of issues. He does say that a lot of the errors were cell point related, most of them connected and tied to custom wood cell points and chip cell points. He does seem a little bit confused about this. I don't know if this has been an ongoing issue, if it's happened to other people or anything like that, but he asked if anyone else has successfully created a custom wood cell point or wood chip cell point in FS25 that passed testing to contact him and let him know how you did it. Normally, we don't talk about modders reaching out for help or something like that in Farm Sim News, as it's usually not news at the end of the day, but did want to mention this just in case. And lastly, today, MrHector Mods says that Phase 3 out of 4 is complete on his map Carpathian Countryside FS25. And if you're curious, Stage 4 is when all the testing, test running, and the gameplay related stuff will happen. Since he's also finished Phase 3, that means he's not too far away. The current aim is for late January or early February to be released for all platforms. Additionally, he looks to be doing an early preview live stream, which I'll make sure to let you guys know once we've got some information about it. Now, Now, unfortunately, there were a few things that had to be removed since we've last talked about the map because he says that he reached the limits of what he could do. However, the good part is the map could be released sooner. And if you're curious about the limits, well, here they are. The maximum file size. On ModHub, the max file size is 1 gigabyte, 536 megabytes. I don't think I read that out right. 1536 megabytes. There we go. Currently, the map is 1479, so less than 100 megabytes off. There are ways to work around this, like with separate mod packs. And when you hear modders say, "Oh, I had 88 required mods because the map would have been too big," there is one pack, the Orchards of Greenhouses. Those will be released ahead of this pack, so that'll at least be one required mod. And currently, that's the only one we know about. Okay, so that's one thing. The map's too big. What about the second thing? Well, this one's a big one, especially for consoles, and there's the maximum amount of field types. So materials, products, crops, thing like that. The maximum amount is 255. If you're on PC, you can just download a mod that increases this number to whatever, but consoles can't do that. Plus, you can't just add 255 to a map. You have to make sure that there's plenty of room available for future DLCs, other mods, custom field types, things like that. There's a lot of mods that add new field types. MrHector has said that if you are on console, once this map comes out, you will have to be careful about which ones you add and which ones you don't. If you're curious, the base game itself has 176 already, which is probably way more than you thought it had. Highlands Fishing DLC, well, that adds another 15. Straw Harvest, that's 3 more right there. MrHector says all in all, that's 194 field types, basically leaves, what is that? 56, 60, not a lot. This map currently adds 43, leaving less than 20 left. With all of that being said, we've talked about this map a lot. He does say that there could be more content added in the future for the map, but unfortunately that would be in a PC-only version. By the way, the PC-only version is not confirmed yet, so we do know that everything we've talked about is all platforms. It is a possibility, so I will make sure that I keep you guys updated if that does happen. Either way, as someone who does farming simulator news multiple times a week and has kind of made a living out of it the past 7 years, I do want to thank MrHector Mods. He's always so clear, precise. The information that he gives out is a lot, and it takes a little while to get through it. So if there's days where we have MrHector Mods, I try and give you guys as much information as possible because he's giving us a lot of information. So MrHector, if you're watching, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for keeping everybody updated. And I appreciate you for hanging out with me today. If I don't see you between now and Christmas, I hope that you have a fantastic Christmas, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, just holiday time in general, regardless of what you are celebrating. I celebrate Christmas, so there is that. If you guys would like to see anything more about the mods, the modders, or anything else we talked about in today's Farm Sim News, links, of course, to everything can be found in the description. Remember, there are no release dates for mods, so no one knows when any mod is going to be released. And if you like the video, you can also check out the Farm Sim News playlist for all the latest news and top stories going on in the world of Farming Simulator. And that's it. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, drop a like, get subscribed if you're new, and join the DjGoHam fam. Double check your notifications so you never miss videos like this one. Hope you have an awesome Monday. Hope this is a great start to your week. Hope you have a fantastic holiday season, regardless of what you're up to this week. We will see you later. So I got a confession to make. I'm not actually Santa Ham. I'm DjGoHam wearing a Santa hat. But Santa Ham, he's coming soon.